Justin, congratulations again. Certainly not surprising. I know this award is very meaningful to you, but what does it mean for you to be nominated again?
Yeah, obviously, first and foremost, Kourtney should be sitting up here next to me. She deserves as much of the credit and recognition for this award as I get. She's been unbelievable for our foundation and keeping everything organized and moving forward and responding and setting things up. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. But to the Clemente Award, obviously, something that means a lot to Court and I, and something we take a lot of pride in, giving back to the community and, finding ways to serve and reach out and help people and lift people up in times of need. And to be nominated on a team full of guys who are really, really excellent at helping out our community and helping out the city of Los Angeles is pretty special to us.
How have you seen the Justin Turner Foundation grow since its inception to this point, and what other types of things are you wanting to do in your community?
I think the biggest thing is when we started going and realizing the impact that we were having. We started realizing that you have all these thoughts and ideas that you want to do and you want to get out and maybe set up events or set up appearances, but you don't always have the courage to go do it. And then once you do your first event or your first appearance and you see the impact that it leaves on the kids or on families or on the homeless veterans, whoever it may be that you're impacting that day, you see just how special it is for those individuals, and it drives you to want to do more and keep moving forward. And instead of just having ideas, putting those ideas into play and really kind of spreading our wings and getting out and getting involved in as many things as we can.
Can you imagine that it would ever have gotten to this point? I mean, from the first golf tournament that you guys have had, several years ago, and to what it's become and how much of an impact it's had?
Yeah, honestly, it's hard to say that we imagined it getting to this point. We just liked kind of answering the request. People have come to us in the past and said, "Hey, we have an idea. We need your help here. We need your help there. Can you come to, this hospital?" And we were always on board. And then to be able to have our own foundation, to be able to set stuff up and do things that, we wanted to do personally. It's been awesome to just be a part of and see it continuously grow and get bigger and be able to impact more people. And it's almost something that's, kind of become addictive to us.
Okay. Congratulations, Justin. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dave.
Justin, you were helping people when times were good, but during this pandemic, you were feeding a lot of people at the Dream Center. Can you describe how rewarding that was to help people in such a dire time?
Yeah, it was kind of the whole situation was kind of, mixed emotions because of everything that we were going through with the pandemic and the city being shut down and people losing their jobs and not knowing where their next meal was going to come from, and the schools closing, and so many kids in the LA Unified School District depending on that hot meal program is really how it started at the Dream Center. And, obviously when they have a need at the Dream Center, we usually hear about it, and we love to partner up with them and get on board and kind of follow in their footsteps and serve in our community. And it just like our foundation, it just continued to grow every single day. It started out with, okay, are we going to donate money so they can feed families? And then, the idea came up through kind of a weird interaction with Pink's Hot Dogs, where the Dream Center had reached out to them through Clint Carlton, who also helps us with our foundation. And because Clint had reached out Pinks had thought that they were donating hot dogs on behalf of the Justin Turner Foundation, when the Dream Center was just asking if they could donate anything. And then I got a phone call from them because I was kind of confused as to what was going on. And that really sparked the idea to reach out to other restaurants and other local businesses in the city and, provide them with big orders to help keep their restaurants open and their kitchens open. And at the same time, feed as many people as we could. And the people at the Dream Center were amazing. They were out on that food line every single day, 11 hours a day. And I don't know what the total number was exactly. I think they did over 900,000 meals. So just hats off to everyone at the Dream Center for organizing that. And then, being on the ground and being out there every single day, making sure families were getting hot meals.
Justin, you mentioned the small businesses also that were help feeding those people with you. Do you believe that you saved some of those small businesses because you were paying for that?
I don't know I don't know if we saved them. I know we helped them. I know, one of the best parts about that was actually making the phone calls to the owners and having those conversations with them. And, you get to hear directly, what it means from them. We were able to keep all of our chefs in the kitchen. We were able to keep, some of our waitresses on board because of this order. And, getting the phone calls from them at the end of the week, like, hey, I don't know what your guys' situation is, but we're really hoping that we can do another order next week. Like, you don't know how much this is helping our restaurant. And really getting to know the families that were involved was something that was pretty special for me and Court.
Thank you.
Next question is for Jack Harris. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Justin, just like organizationally wide, can you speak to how important, the community service aspect is, not just with the guys in the clubhouse, but also the way, the team is able to activate you guys to do different things?
Yeah, the Dodgers have always been outstanding in Los Angeles, and they have so many programs, so many outreach programs, whether it be in the schools or the dream fields or the reading programs, the RBI program. They really do a tremendous job in the city of LA. And like I said earlier, there's so many guys in our clubhouse that do go above and beyond and get out in the community and make a difference. And it just speaks to, the type of guys we have in our clubhouse. And not everyone has a foundation in there, but the guys that do have a foundation, when they have needs, when I go to a teammates and say, hey man, can you make this video for this kid? Or can you sign a jersey for auction? It's without hesitation. So the support from all of our teammates and their families really has been huge all along. And it's just a great organization that I think does an outstanding job from top to bottom in the city of Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, over your years here, how closely have you worked with and gotten to know like someone like Naomi Rodriguez and other people in the front office who help, organize those sorts of things?
Yeah, I talk with Naomi frequently, and her husband has played in our golf tournament over the last 3 or 4 years. The Dodgers have been great in helping us with sponsorship. Jenny O has been huge, helping us bring out golfers and get sponsors, and it really has been a awesome relationship that we've had. And I enjoy going out and doing the things that, Naomi asked us to do on behalf of the Dodgers as well.
Thank you.
Next question is from Eric Stevens. Go ahead, Eric.
Justin, I was wondering on a personal level, I know a few players this season have reached 10 years of Major League service. I'm not sure when your exact date is, but I think it's pretty soon. Does that milestone mean anything to you? And what does it mean just to have 10 years of Major League service?
I actually don't know when that is either. This is a weird year, so I don't know if one day counts as 3 days or when that's coming up. But obviously, I think it's something that it's kind of a date that sticks out to a lot of guys, and we have a few guys in the clubhouse that have already hit their 10-year. And Kenley, I think Kenley just hit his maybe a couple of days ago. I know he's a few days ahead of me in service time, so mine's coming up. But it's crazy to think about, where I was, the road I've taken to get here, to be now coming up on 10 years. It's pretty cool to think about.
And then, how's your hamstring doing? I know, they waited a couple days to put you on the injured list. Is it something where in the first couple days you were thinking it was an IL situation, or are you just kind of seeing how it played out?
Yeah, it was kind of a double whammy. I'd gotten hit in the hamstring about 3 days before that, so it was kind of two things going on at once. So I'm progressing every day and doing everything I can. And our training staff and strength staff is unbelievable, and we're putting work in every day to get me back out there on the field.
Thanks.
Got a question from JP Munster. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, Justin. You said a minute ago that when they have a need at the Dream Center, we usually hear about it. Have there been more needs this year because of the pandemic or because of anything else going on that maybe didn't capture as many headlines?
Well, I mean, if you aren't familiar with the Dream Center, they are out in the community every single day of the year. So they have an outreach program, food trucks. They have so many different programs, discipleship and emancipated youth and foster care prevention. There's so many different programs that are happening all under one roof there, that there really is always a need. They don't get any help, any funding from the government right now. It's all through private donors and donations and raising money on their own. So there's always a need. There's always stuff going on. Right now, they started their learning program for kids who aren't able to go back in school, where they have computers set up at the Dream Center, and kids can come in and see tutors and go through their classes, their online classes and learning and whatnot at the Dream Center. So, there's always a need. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. So if you are willing to do it, and you're willing to reach out to them, they'll find a way for you to serve the community.
Sort of on the heels of what Alana was asking earlier, how much have you learned about what it takes to run a nonprofit since you started this? I mean, I feel like you could probably teach a class about it at this point. Is that right?
Kourtney could, for sure. I would have no chance of doing this if it wasn't for her. I mean, she is incredibly organized. She spends hours and hours on her computer every day, going through emails, answering emails, setting up food deliveries, reaching out to different companies for sponsors. And she we don't have a whole lot of help. She takes the reins on pretty much everything because, she's a believer. If you want things done the way you want them done, then you just do them yourself. And almost to a fault, she takes on so much, and, sometimes it's tough on her, but, she always comes up in the clutch and gets it done. And, there would be no Justin Turner Foundation if it wasn't for her.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Justin?
Good.
Yes. What does it mean to you that you are a positive influence on your community?
I think it's, as an athlete in Los Angeles, I think it's something that, it's a responsibility that we have to give back and to go out and make a difference, especially I talk about it all the time. Our fans are the best fans in probably all sports. They support us year round. I live here in LA year round, and it doesn't matter what month it is, what time of the year, in season, out of season, anywhere you go, you see Dodger hats, Dodger jerseys, jackets, walking the streets of LA. So I really feel like it's a obligation and a responsibility on our part as athletes who are so lucky to, get to play a game for a living, to make sure, we get back out there and we give back.